Well, good morning. It's April 14th, 2025. We're here at the Fort Worth Aviation Museum, home of the most touchable warbirds in Texas. And we are taking delivery today of our 37th airplane. This is an F-100F two-seater. It was used as a fastback during Vietnam. This one spent most of its time here in the States. It's only half of the airplane, so half a Hun is better than none. And we will be bringing the wings back at a later date. But it just got here this morning from Mojave, California. So I'm going to just let you watch as they do the lift on the airplane. Crane services this morning is Wildcat Cranes from here in Fort Worth. They've lifted just about every one of the airplanes here in our collection. Good morning, Mike. If you folks have got questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I can see the screen here this morning. Airplane weighs, we think, about 15,000 pounds as it sits right now. It does have the engine in it. This airplane also spent time, as you can see, Flight Systems spent time in Germany towing targets. Don't try that at home. And Michelle Mintz, good morning. This airplane, when the restoration is complete, we will be putting it in the Southeast Asia camo configuration. And we have a couple of people here with the family ties to this airplane. Gentleman in the dark gray t-shirt is Mike McGowan. His father was a crew chief on these airplanes. And then another gentleman back off in the grass in black is Laird Lavoie. His father, Les Lavoie, spent a lot of times in F-100s, and including Laird just finished up sending a book to the printer on his father and his experience with the F-100s. His father flew this airplane several times at Luke Air Force Base when it was being used as a trainer. And the airplane also spent a little time with the Danish Air Force before Flight Systems had it. For now, we're going to just set it down on tires here on the street. So it'll be here on the street for a little while till we can go ahead and bring the wings in. Yeah. Lois, good morning. Calvin, good morning. For now, we will be putting the airplane down on tires. It'll require another lift when we get the wings here and we mate the wings with the fuselage. The wings are still in Mojave, and they're going to need to be configured so that we can bring them. Hi, Jack. Good morning. Glad to see you. Jack knows what we're doing. He's helped on a lot of these airplanes out here. This is number 37, Jack. This aircraft, as you can see on the side by the cockpit, says Airworks. This airplane was donated to the museum by Airworks and Daryl Weflin. They were out in Mojave last week helping our crew disassemble the airplane so we could bring it here. And she is just about home. John, good morning. Jerry, good morning. For those of you that come in late, this is an F-100F. It's a two-seater. These airplanes were used primarily as a trainer, but they were also used as what was referred to as a fastback, which were used to control airstrikes on targets in South Vietnam. These were called Misty-Facts by the Air Force. The Marine Corps started the fastback program with TF-9 originally, and then the Air Force started using the F-100Fs, and then the Marine Corps switched to TA-4Js. So these airplanes, first flight was in 1953, and they entered service in, I believe it was September of 1954. The front of the airplane settled on top of that big tire. Devin, good morning. Be concerned about how the airplane's settling on the nose. We don't want to damage the nose gear, so we'll stay here with as long as it takes. Heather, Cliff, good morning. Walk around the airplane a little bit so you can see a little bit more of it while we've got a little break while we go get some more support. The airplane's about 50 feet long, and when it's on its gear, it stands 16 feet tall. So this became a wide load bringing it back. These airplanes, although not this one, were used as Thunderbirds by the U.S. Air Force. No, it's not a NASA F-100 Cliff. It was flown by Flight Systems. And they use them in Germany, pulling targets, and for other test and evaluation purposes. But yeah, it is hard to move without the mains. Those are still in California. But I see the blue and white, but this is not a NASA airplane. It was a Flight Systems airplane. Okay, we're doing a Facebook Live right now. What do you need?
Okay, so the front landing gear is wedged in those tires right now, and it will hold it, but we don't want to damage the landing gear.
Right.
So should we lift it and pull the tires up and stack some tires on here so they're sitting on here?
Well, that's where it was when it was brought out on the truck.
Well, that's where it was, but they had to do that because of the angle of the trailer.
Okay.
They didn't have a choice. We just don't want to damage the landing gear. Do you think the weight will damage the landing gear? I mean, I know it's already damaged.
Well, the landing gear will go up inside the airplane anyway. I mean, it would normally go up inside.
Right, so there's no damage to it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Kind of what I thought.
Yeah. And here's what they're talking about here is that we've got, right now we've got the landing gear supported by these tires, and they're bringing some more cribbage to be able to support the airplane. So this is just some of the stuff that takes place every time we move one of these airplanes. No two moves ever go the same. Some are easier than others. Some of the ones that were supposed to be really easy are not. And we consider easy a 4-letter word around here. We try not to use that too much. Laird, as long as we got a little bit of a break in the action, we're doing Facebook Live right now.
Yes, sir.
This is Laird Lavoie. His father, Les, had a long, distinguished career with the F-100. Do you want to say a few words about that?
Well, I do. It's a really special day today. My dad for 18 years. We ran at 5 F-100 squadrons in Vietnam and Iraq. And he flew this exact airplane. So it's been a real bucket list item to get it back to this fine museum and get it on display to honor the Misties.
Well, and Les is the one who's made a lot of this possible by financially supporting bringing it back. But why don't you tell them a little bit about the book?
Well, we just finished a book we wrote on my dad's 34-year fighter pilot career called Lesson 1, The Life of Service and Valor. It's going to print next week. Just talks about all the service from a P-47 pilot in World War II to leading some of the first air strikes over North Vietnam as an F-100 squadron commander, February 65. And it's just a great life of a fighter pilot that was in the cockpit for 34 years.
Well, and again, Les, if it wasn't for Laird, this airplane wouldn't be here. This has been a struggle getting it here, hasn't it?
It's been a labor of love.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been working on getting this airplane here for almost 4 years, as it turns out. And so it's here now. And like we said, half a Hun's better than none. We'll be getting the other half before too long. But in the meantime, we've got our annual craft beer festival that's going on out here in 2 weeks called Hops and Props. So this one will be kind of set aside for a while. Let's see. Cliff says he works at the boneyard. Know what you mean. I'm sure you do. Yeah, and the nose gear is hanging down right now because we didn't... the nose gear itself has a part of the strut that's damaged. Part of the brace, and so we weren't going to have it down anyway for the transport. So it was transported pretty much the way you see it. It's strapped up.
Oh, you need the gate open? Yes, sir.
Drive up and it opens. You just drive up to the gate, it'll open.
Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you. Safe travels.
Thank you.
That was our driver who brought the airplane out. So it looks like we may almost have the airplane landed. We brought a lot of the other pieces that are here in a trailer, and the drop tanks, the canopy, the cockpit is pretty much empty, but we know how to fill those, so we're not real concerned about that. Hi, Michael. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Some of you may have noticed that the afterburner section on this airplane doesn't look right. If you've caught that, you are correct. Hi, David. That is an afterburner section from a F-102. Looks like they're trying to straighten out the nose gear a little bit. Trying to get it to go straight down into the tire. Since we're at Meacham Airport here, they had to do what is referred to as a NOTAM, which is a notice to airmen about the crane here. And pointed up here, you'll notice there's a flag up on top of the crane. So they had to put a notice to airmen so that aircraft flying in and out of the airport would know that there's something tall here. And they're restricted, but they didn't think the boom was going to go up more than about 70 feet. And it doesn't look to me like it's even that high right now. Going for a full set, yeah, David's telling, going for a full set of Century series airplanes. Pretty much, we've got the F-100 now, F-102, TF-102, and F-105. Let's see what else have we got here? It's hard to remember sometimes. This is number 37. Jim and Robert, thanks for joining us this morning. For those of you kind of just getting in late here, we are just recovering this F-100F. It's a rear two-seat F-100 Super Sabre. And it was retrieved from Mojave. It was donated to us by Airworks. You'll notice that on the side of the airplane. It had been flown last by Flight Systems here in the United States and in Germany. Before that, Danish Air Force had it for a while after the U.S. Air Force retired it. This airplane flew here in the United States solely. It did not go to Vietnam like many of the others. But this one we'll be putting it in the livery, Southeast Asia camo livery, and it will be dedicated to the Mistifax, the Fastfax. Okay, we're looking for the slings to go slack, and then we'll know the airplane is landed. I mentioned before, the wing is still in Mojave. It was too big. We were going to have a supersized load to bring it in, and so we couldn't do that. The wing is still out there, and we're going to have to do what's referred to as breaking the wing. Okay, Cliff, we'll see you later. This will be posted, and thanks for coming in. Oh, spray laid off an F-16, right? We've got the YF-16 number 2 here, so come out and visit us. They said they've got the sling caught in the front. They may have to put more supports under the nose. Okay, I don't know if you can hear that. They're going to take the support underneath the nose and move it behind the other big tire support near where the speed brake is. That's what's hanging down underneath the speed brake. Underneath the airplane is the speed brake. See one of our guys right there laying down next to the airplane. Last time this airplane flew, we think, was about 15 years ago. We do have a little bit of news to pass along other than the F-100. We were informed last week that we have requested one of the last of the Harriers that are being retired from the Marine Corps, and they will be flying one into us here at the museum on May 13th. We don't have a time for that yet, but they plan on flying it in on May 13th, and it will be retired here at the museum to go along with our AV-8A, which was one of the full-scale development airplanes, one of the 4 full-scale development airplanes. So we will have the bookends, the very first and the very last of the Harriers here. Yeah, it is awesome news. First and last Harriers. And we've requested that when it comes in, it does a hover landing. So they're all up for that. So there'll be more news about that as we get a little bit closer. Right now we got to get this one down and then get hops and props. And then we'll see about getting wings and talk about the Harrier. Katie, good morning. Thanks for joining us for the arrival of the F-100F Super Sabre here at the Fort Worth Aviation Museum. They're getting more support timbers, I believe, to put under the nose of the airplane so that it'll be more stable when it's sitting down. It's not going to be here for a long time like this. When we get the wing in from California, we'll mate them back together again. And then after hops and props, we'll be able to move the whole airplane up onto our ramp. And I don't know if you've noticed on the tail, it says it's an F-100F serial number 563996. So it was built under a contract in 1956. And we will have the history of this airplane posted on our website Kayla, good morning. We're just in a little bit of a lull right here while they get some more timbers to support the nose of the aircraft when they let it down. We just arrived this morning from California, where a group of our people went out and met with people from Airworks and disassembled the airplane to be able to bring it back here. Yeah, we're doing a Facebook Live right now. Doing a Facebook Live right now.
I think I got some good stills.
Hi, Blair. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. We're in a break in the action right now while we get some more cribbage to put underneath the nose of the airplane to support it here on the street. This is temporary storage behind the museum until we are able to bring the wings back from California and mate the airplane and the wings back together. So, Mike, as long as you're sitting here, what do you think about this?
This is freaking awesome. This is really cool.
Mike's father worked on these airplanes when he was in the Air Force. When did you say your dad was in the Air Force?
63 to 66.
Okay.
He was supposed to stay in longer, but he got injured and they discharged him.
Okay.
Apparently that's how I became born. I was born in 67.
Oh, okay.
So the discharge caused me.
Matt, good morning.
Dad got really lucky. He got to work on the Thunderbirds.
Oh, did he?
One time, yeah. And I told you about the story where his commanding officer made him crawl up in the nose
Right.
to fix a wire that was hanging down from the cockpit. And Dad's like, I can't do that because if that wire touches the side, we all go boom boom. And his commanding officer, that was before OSHA.
Yeah, right.
I told you to get up in there and fix the wire. So he crawled up in there and fixed the wire.
Well, Mike has helped us too. Mike has put on a car show here for us to help raise funds to bring this airplane back. And we're going to do another one probably in the fall to see about generating some more dollars to be able to put this back in its colors. So I know this airplane is special to Mike and also to Laird Lavoie, who we spoke to a little bit earlier. And David, I will call you later after we get off of this.
So Jim, this is the airplane that Dad and I were watching on the auction.
Oh yeah, I hadn't heard you mention that earlier.
So this airplane, when the auction went on, it was for sale back in 2020. That was right before that was sale.
Yeah. Morning, Ben.
I said, if that thing doesn't go below 10,000, let's buy it. Of course, my dad's like, what are we going to do with a jet? We'll donate it to
Yeah. Well, it went for substantially more than that.
And it went for substantially more than that. So, but what are the odds that same airplane 5 years later shows up?
Water.
What you need?
And the temperature's going up. It's getting to be thirsty here. And you can see they're putting more wood cribbage underneath the nose of the airplane to support it.
See all the fluid leaking out? All the hydraulic fluid? No, I don't see anything.
It's probably condensation.
That's right, it was out in the desert.
It was.
tell you, Dad would be really excited to see this.
Well, we've got a bunch of other F-100 people around here too. One of our Hops and Props sponsors is Jerry Singleton with... That was Laird Lavoie's comment. Jerry Singleton with Signal Securities. Jerry told me last week he had 255 combat missions in the F-100 in Vietnam. Hey, Tony, it made it here. Tony Morantes is one of the people that went out to California and helped take this apart. Sometimes it's easier to move the airplane than it is to move the tires. But not always.
That tire probably weighs 200 pounds.
At least.
I moved it though.
I saw that. That device hanging down is a speed brake for any of you who aren't aware of that. He's just lifting up by hand. That would normally be hydraulically powered. And that helps slow the airplane down because it disrupts the airflow across the surface of the airplane. And so, therefore, it slows it down. A little creaking and groaning here. As soon as you see those straps go slack, you'll know we are landed. There you go. We are landed here at the Fort Worth Aviation Museum. We'll ask the crane operator the weight too. He'll tell us what it was, and Ben will get back to you all with that. They're just a little bit busy right now. We guessed that it was going to be around 15,000. And so at any rate, airplane's down. We understand there was a space flight that took place this morning, but this was our flight that arrived from California and is now here on the ground in Fort Worth, Texas. Part of our collection. This is now the 37th aircraft in our collection here at the Fort Worth Aviation Museum. This is an emotional time for both Mike and Laird. Both of their dads had history with these airplanes, and having one here was kind of a bucket list for both of them. So they're going to be cleaning it up here, and we will be talking to you all later, and we'll be posting this on our YouTube channel. But for now, thanks for joining us this morning, and have a good day, and you'll be able to follow our progress with this as we go along. I can figure out how to stop this.